Are you one of those agents that chatting with the AI, or you're using it to actually systemize your whole game of the real estate?
So most people are telling you prompt. They're telling you go to ChatGPT or whatever. You type in what you want, you get your answer, you copy, you paste, you fix, you post. That's their game. And they say, oh, you should get a better prompt. But that's not really what's working. What really works now is you having an engine that works for you. So we're not just copy pasting. We're not horse and buggying this thing anymore. We're not riding our horses. We are now driving the car, and we need to be using AI in order to get us to where we want to go. And that's really the whole game of automation with cloud that we want to really talk about. But this only happens if you have your systems, or you create your systems, or you find out about systems like we create. You either do it yourself or you talk to us. But let's talk about how this really does work.
Exactly. You are a slam in the morning with all of your jobs and prospecting other stuff with your client, with the seller, with the buyer, and now also you really wanted to up on your game and get yourself out there in social media and all platforms to make sure that they see you as an expert and they trust you, and you can guide them in a way and helping them.
So basically we're talking about automation, and we're talking about what happens when it's scheduled overnight and it's doing it on its own. It's not about you stopping the draft to read the draft, because honestly I don't have time to read all the drafts. In fact, if I see there's a mistake, I'm going to delete it and move on. But what we built with Cloud Code is exactly what I just said. We run this automation every single day. Cameras run 7 days a week with me not actually being on camera, opening an app, sitting down, or standing around my phone to be like, hey, what's going on every single second of the day. So we're going to show you how it runs, what we're using on our real channels for our real estate careers, not our one that we run our real estate on, and we're really going to show you how it works underneath.
Exactly. Therefore, as we said, the whole system is a chain of the small programs, or as my wife said, skills with the Python, which again, we are not programmer, we are just simple real estate agent, and we are here to help you to level up your business. And basically, these small programs, they're gonna fire on your schedule, which for example, we're using a metrical to schedule all of our social media, and basically you hands down, and then it flies on its own. All you need is to manage.
Now, what we're talking about specifically today is, yes, it's our HeyGen. It's our automation with our avatars. I mostly use my husband's avatar because it's very handsome. And then we use our avatars every single day because we are scheduling our engines to work, so people are constantly seeing our information about our area. And even if we didn't film it, we still have something to say about it. So that's what's happening. We have an alarm system that goes off on the computer, the crone, not a witch. And then once it runs, it's running at the set hour every evening, every night, every certain time of the day. For me, in this HeyGen situation, it's 5 o'clock for my first run, which I'm supposed to do manually. If I miss it, 7 o'clock is my second backup. And if I miss that one, then 8:15 is when I do that. I'm going to explain in a minute. But basically, that is how it's working, because step one, I know, well, actually, the step before that is the SEO from the previous video that we just talked about. What does that do? That's checking out all the SEO. It's getting the SERP data. It is finding out what's going on in the market. It's seeing what is going on in keyword world, or the news, because you have it running to the news too, because maybe there's an important thing to know about in your area, like new jobs coming to the area, which means new people need houses, things like that. So it's looking for that. So then the next morning, that runs at 8:15, and then at 5 o'clock that night, because I like to work a date ahead. I can't have everything running. It drives me crazy. And then at 5 o'clock, I just hit one button. I've got the George Jetson job now. I don't know if you saw George Jetson and the Jetsons growing up. I like that cartoon where his entire job was show up to work and hit a button. So this whole thing, at 5 o'clock, I hit the button. And if I miss it, and then I have 7 o'clock as my backup, hit a button. And if I miss both of that, then I have automation. But the problem, I don't use automation too much because HeyGen charged me more money if I do the automation with that, what they do. So I do try to do my job of hit the button, right? I know that's so hard. I hit the button. Oh, but either way, it works that way. And it's running 6 videos. I told you 6. So if I miss, that's $6. If I miss 7 days a week, It's $42, so I try not to miss. I have to hit my button. But again, it's deciding everything at this point. What brand is running, which avatar is running, what the script is going to be. I have done nothing except hit the button.
Exactly. Then, as my wife said, yeah, it sent it to those videos into Hagen to render those videos. And we are going to slow down here and actually teach you something. Because this is the next part is one of the most important lesson of automation. It's all about money. And what is that?
Now, the difference what you do, how you use cloud code, you can drive the money fast, or you can keep it to where you run on pace. That's why I told you I hit the button. MCP can be I use my regular points, or if I use API, I have to spend an extra $1 per API. So imagine, that's what I was saying, $6 a day. I'm going to try to hit that button every day. But again, API, not all programs, HeyGen is that expensive. Not all programs are the same. When I run a music one, it's about 3 cents. I don't care about 3 cents. I care about $1. But again, it's just how much you're going to pay to use that service. And that is how programming works. So you have to know what API is. What is API?
Basically, API is application programming interface. It's the pay per user door into a service, as my wife said. Therefore, that's why she clicks in that button, no?
Right, because it costs $1 with HeyGen, which is pricey. But I love HeyGen because it makes an amazing video. We use 11 labs for his voice, or my voice, so it sounds like us. Now, for this video and our long form videos, we're always live. This is, for good or bad, this is who we are. But for our HeyGens in our shorts, it is what it is, because I can't be everywhere all the time, especially when I am not necessarily a social media person. Now, if I was going to be running the API every single month, that's $180. So I try not to do that. I'm trying to save money wherever I can. And just so knowing the different ways you can do things helps you save money. And honestly, hitting one button that says literally run, I can handle it. But that's a trap you have to always be paying attention to. And you can always ask Cloud, well, which one is going to be cheaper for me? How can we make the cheaper version work? For instance, when we did the video on this call, the schedule for the phone calls. When we get that email every single morning, it's running through Google, and Google is free, right? So it is that email list I get going from my Bold Trail, running through a Google server. And that's free. I'm not spending money for it. I could spend money. So you always have to be, when you're programming, what's the cheapest way I can do these things that is secure? Google is secure because it's running through my API. I do pay for other things with Google, but that service is free. So therefore, I'm going to use the free version, because why would I use the expensive way?
Exactly.
So you have to always talk to Cloud and say, what is the cheapest way I can do this? Not the most expensive way or the fastest way, because you want to spend your money where it matters. The video itself, awesome, you should spend your money on that. If you're looking for the best voice, you should spend your money on 11 Labs, because they do have great voices. I do know that some of those Chinese apps are coming fast and furious up with voice cloning, and I'm going to tell you, if it is cheaper, we are doing it. Exactly.
Therefore, it's all about how you save money, because as we said, imagine you're doing for a couple channels, 3 times, and every time that API is running, you basically paying $1. And by
for HeyGen, other ones are 3 cents. It depends on the price of the one you're running.
That's going to add $100 every month, beside of all the apps that you're paying, beside all this.
And there was that awful news report you saw where somebody spent like $100,000 in a month. Clearly, they weren't paying attention to what their API bill. So you want to make sure. And what is MCP? MCP is the way Cloud Code runs something itself. So you do have to hit the button for it to run automatically, but then it's running it, connected to it, and it's a free tool. So I like to use the free whenever possible.
Exactly. Therefore, well, it's
not free. I'm paying for Cloud, which means I have paid for it to run, but I'm not paying extra for it. That's the specific thing to run. It's running on my credits.
Okay. And what is this automatic backup that we use?
Now, if for whatever reason I missed the 5 and the 7, then I do have API as my backup choice, and only backup choice as a safety net, because what if I am on vacation? I want to spend the $42 that week because I'm going to be in the Caribbean islands that month, and I don't want to be hitting buttons. So there is a way it's going to happen. Now, or maybe I can still do it and save money because it doesn't take long. But either way, make sure you're always paying attention to what the API costs, and then what you're willing to spend money on. I will spend on video, I will spend on images, and I will spend on sound. Those are ones I will spend on. But do I need to spend the most? No, I want to make sure it's the best version of us, especially when it comes to our agent and our avatar. And those scripts, I've created the code that creates the script. And if the codes aren't working right, I don't like the scripts anymore, I need to go back to cloud and say, hey, my scripts are stale. What are we missing? Let's go back to the SEO and see what people are talking about. What are my competitors talking about? What can I do to be better? And then make a version there. And then it's written scripts. And honestly, you be honest with yourself and be completely honest. If you're an Instagram girl or guy, that's amazing. But if you are not, and everybody tells you need to be there, because we were not Instagram people. We really weren't. So finding a way to be there and to have people see us and to connect with us without necessarily putting my face on camera to do something that I feel uncomfortable with, I'm much more of a different, I like TikTok myself, it's more fun. But hey, Instagram's a little bit too picture perfect for me. On my own, everybody has their own social media that they like and they don't like, but you still need to be in places. So HeyGen lets you be in places that you weren't. It's the digital version of you. It's trained on your voice, trained on your thing. It's running on your consent. These are your scripts that is being written by your code. It's producing videos and words that you tell it to use. It sounds like you, it's willed like you, but you're not feeling uncomfortable doing something you don't want to do.
Exactly. Therefore, step 2 basically is picking what each video says. And this is where it gets smart instead of being random. The prepared programs, as my wife said, it pulls the script from topic with the real rules. For example, when you're running the cloud code, it goes to SEO, it look at the news, everything that is like what is the rate in the market, how it affects home buyers, home sellers. Therefore, you always have something to talk about.
And I have it to where it never can repeat itself. So we can't just talk about the same thing all day, every day. And it has to force variety. I have to hammer home something and it's just, it doesn't sound natural. So it is basically one slot locked into one topic if I need that topic to really, really rock. Threads stay alive that way. Now, I told you about my SEO scan I do every single morning, and actually it's the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning to see what happened with Google overnight. And it is real SERP data that I am pulling, so that way I can really see what people are asking, so I can actually be the answer to their questions, which is what I want to be.
Exactly. Therefore, step 3 is actually it sets when each video posts and a slot across the next day. That's what my wife actually wants, because she wants to be one day ahead of a time. That if something hit the problem, we still can solve the problem before it hits to media. And so they land when people are scrolling instead of dumping, because based on the scheduler, which we use Metrical, but there are other scheduler. You pull your data by cloud and see which time of the day it can give you the more audience, and you can put yourself more in front of people.
Now, basically, once the agent video is done, it sends a webhook. The webhook is automatic, telling cloud that it is done. And that means when it wakes up in the morning, because again, I have it wake up in the morning. I think it starts running around 6, I think it runs at 7. Basically 6 or 7. 6, 7, as my kids would say. But it will write the captions in my voice that I've trained it on, from thousands of our YouTube scripts that we already have filmed for our YouTube channel over there on our Real Estate channel. Nothing sounds generic. It sounds like us. We're having a cover frame put in for Instagram to be Instagram perfect. It's scheduling everything through Metrical automatically. So all I have to do whenever I do like 8, 9 o'clock, I can go into Symmetrical, or I can just open up my app and see what was filmed. And basically everything is happening while I'm sleeping and not paying attention. So I can bring the kids to school, we can have breakfast. And my social media for things that I don't feel comfortable with is being done.
Exactly. Therefore, at this point, at step 5, the morning sweep and the safety net. And this is the piece that makes things something that you actually can trust, because it checks everything for you and basically tells you what to do. Well,
not just that. We'll end on this. I have a sweeper. We're going to do another video on this and our safety sweep. Making sure that Nothing happened on my accounts that violate fair housing. Nothing happens on my accounts where it doesn't fit my brand. So if it starts giving purple and I want green, well then I have a problem and it's going to catch that too. Or it's going to say, I said these words, I need to go fix this right away. So I do have something in there as a backup of a backup to make sure I'm always compliant, actually in a better way than I would be on my own, because sometimes I talk fast and then I sometimes forget that I didn't say something and I think and then I have, so here I have something correcting for me, which I do appreciate once in a while.
Exactly.
So we can't wait to talk more about how all of our programs work. And if you join with us at EXP, I will show you and give you pretty much all of my system for free.
Exactly. Therefore, going in the description below and book an appointment with us, Alan Victoria Pinder with EXP Realty. We love to help you level up your business, and we are all about automation and have a
with cloud.
With cloud. And don't forget to watch all of our playlists, subscribe in our channel, and we love to connect with you. And see you next time.